It's hard to believe, but it's yet another beautiful morning here in the UK. It's fairly early. It's about 7:45 in the morning. The sun is up and it's warm to my left here, and we're underneath the trees. They're all beautiful and green, not a breath of wind. We're near a field. There's a field at the side of us here. Nothing is moving. None of the grass is moving. None of the small flowers, spring flowers, are moving. The reservoir over to my right is very low, but we're not bothered because the water goes to Liverpool. We get ours from the Lake District, so we're all right, and that's all that matters. And we're going into shade now, and it's a great morning, and I have a feeling that it's going to be a good day. Now, I'm going to talk about how we get up in the morning, how we prepare for the day, very briefly, and how our natural routine in the morning augurs well for a good day. And I know that many of you are at work, and I know that you don't have the opportunities, but hopefully, if you're around long enough, you will get to retire and you'll be able to enjoy this as much as I do. But in the meantime, we get a little bit of enjoyment just out of watching us walk through the beautiful countryside, the beautiful landscape here in the northwest, and it's a beautiful temperature. It's kind of slightly cool under the trees, but then warm in the sun, and Molly is loving it and I'm loving it. And one of the reasons I'm loving it is because of how we get up in the morning, how we prepare for the day. I got up this morning in a good mood. I just woke up in a good mood, and I think some of that was I could see the sunlight coming through the blinds, and it's earlier, so you wake up early. Waking up around 6 o'clock and you look and there's light coming through and you think, oh, it's gonna be a gorgeous day. And we got good sleep. I think one of the tricks is to get good sleep, get plenty of good sleep. I try to go to bed when I'm tired, when I'm ready for it, rather than stay up, because I think, and I don't know whether I think most people are like this, that no matter what time you go to bed, you get up at the same time, don't you? I can go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and I will still get up at 6. It's just like this internal clock. So I tend to go to bed when I'm tired. It's usually about between 10 and 10:45, something like that. Molly's ready for bed then, so we go to bed, and then we're relaxed and we sleep well, luckily, and we get up feeling fresh in the morning. And there's no better feeling than fresh in the morning. It's the best part of the day to feel fresh. It's nice feeling fresh all day, but feeling fresh first thing in the morning is a fantastic feeling. And we get up, and I've talked before, we go through our routine, we go downstairs. There's something really nice about going downstairs on a spring morning when you know outside is going to be warm and you're eager to get out in it. And I don't really waste much time. Have a coffee. Molly's ready for going out, so we just open the blinds, have a coffee, get ourselves ready, and we're out in quarter of an hour. And we hit the road. And there's one nice thing about driving out to where we go for a walk. We used to walk here, because it's only a couple of minutes drive, but it's too much for Molly now. By the time we got here, she'd be ready for going home again, so we drive out. And there's something nice about driving out through early morning streets where all the shops are closed up and they're dark. And it's a bit incongruous. It's funny really, because you expect shops and shopping centres and thoroughfares, you expect they're actually designed and made to be busy because they're places of commerce. So when they are in darkness and everything's shut up, I think there's something, it's like magical about it. It's like just waiting to start the day. There's the odd shop owner rolling up the shutters with that comforting clattering noise that hasn't changed for generations. Just the odd person, one or two, on the street, the early risers, and us and nobody else. And then you gradually leave the town proper and you go into the countryside, and it's a gradual process. It's a really nice process. The houses get fewer and the trees get more frequent, and then you move slowly out of that until you're just in woodland with the occasional old stone cottage at the side of the road. Very beautiful. And the roads, we're in the UK, so the roads are narrow and winding, and the ground at the side of them is soft, so you have to stay on the road, and the road, the side of the road is a bit crumbly, so you have to be careful. But when you're used to English roads, they're great. They're rolling and sweeping and narrow, and they're changing gradients. They're going down and coming up, sweeping right, sweeping left, and it's just nice to go along them, keeping like a constant speed, where it's just, you don't really have to slow up to go around the bends. So you're just not all this gear changing and up and down. You just sit there and you glide around the bends, hitting the right line. And it's just nice. And the trees are going past you in a green blur at the side, with the odd house coming up and then gone behind you as you get deeper into the countryside. I love it, it's fantastic. And then eventually we turn onto the car park where we go. We've got half a dozen different car parks. We tend to choose them on the way up, decide where we're going, and then we park up. And because we're early, we're first here, there's usually no one else on the car park when we get here except us. And it's nice, and we park up and I let Molly out. And all this time from getting up to here has just been a slow, mindful, there's no stress, there's nothing. It's just almost a routine that we go through without really thinking about it. And this is how we start the day. And then once we park up and I lift Molly out of the car and she goes off to find a weeing spot and I get stuff ready. Like today, we haven't brought a pram out. We're just risking it, but I think she'll be fine because she seems to be getting slightly better on her feet. And then we're then into our day, aren't we? And there's nothing then, we've nothing planned. So there's nothing then I can foresee unless something crops up to spoil the day. And this is what I always talk about. When I talk about our slow living, and I used to joke about the girls with the long flowing hair and Laura Ashley dresses running through cornfields with a bowl mixing cinnamon buns. And they're all good and they're all lovely to watch, but it's not really what we do. Mine is just a lifestyle I've led more or less all my life since I started working the forestry at 17 years old and lived in a cottage on my own in a wood, the Earl of Derby's estate. And then that was it. That was my introduction to the love of nature and the love of slow living and the love of peaceful, gentle living. For me, slow living means being aware of everything around you, living slowly at your own pace, not at somebody else's pace, because usually society dictates that you either live at someone else's pace, speeding up, or someone else's pace, slowing down. Live at your own pace. I live slowly and easily. I can because I'm retired and I've got all the time in the world to do whatever I want. And that's great, but not everyone has. But do your best. Appreciate every little thing that's around you, and you will find that you are satisfied with less complications. I'm satisfied by just sitting quietly. I'm satisfied with simple food. I'm satisfied by just reading a book, doing a bit of knitting, walking about in the countryside, making a bit of music at home. Simple. And then, and I think, there's not much else I need. I will pick up any hobby I can, because I think hobbies are incredibly important. But that's it. It's just simple, slow living. Just being in your own head, being happy, being you. I think that's what a lot of it amounts to. I speak to a lot of people, and a lot of people comment on my videos, and it's about not being happy in themselves. And I think a lot of that is just down to expectations that society puts on you. So you're living up to other people's expectations, so you're never going to be happy. You're always going to have to be better. You're always going to have to be the better person. And that is unattainable. You're never going to reach that. And that puts everybody, especially younger people, it puts them under so much pressure. And it's just not fair. Don't be put under pressure. We only get one crack at this life, and it only lasts a few years. So don't spend time trying to live up to other people's expectations, because you never will. Because they will be forever setting the bar higher, setting expectations higher, making you work harder. Because the people who are in power, the people who are dictating this to you, they don't want you to be satisfied with what you got. Society is all about overreaching yourself, doing more, pushing harder, faster, earning more money for somebody else. And it doesn't have to be about that. So just live life at your own pace. Live life appreciating nature, appreciating everything that's around you, being aware of everything around you. And that's all that slow living is about. It's not about, there's no game plan, there's no manual, there's no operating manual. It's just about you, it's about the individual, it's just about being aware. It's about when you stop being aware of the sounds, being aware of the smells, being aware of the sights, just being aware of the temperature, just being aware of everything you can feel while you're out in nature. And that's what it's all about. But I think you already know that, don't you? And we shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.